I can be problematic because if you're a well-off family, Santa's buying you some really cool shit. You know?
Yeah. And then he's giving the poor kid at school some fucking socks and some oatmeal, and you're like,
Yeah.
he brought you like a bike and a new Xbox and blah blah blah, and you're like, what the fuck, Santa's kind of a dick.
Like, you could just be like the best kid like all year. Like, your parents are poor. Santa's like, yeah, get fucked. Here's a pair of shoes that you literally just need.
Yeah, your parents aren't in the right tax bracket, so old Saint Nick takes account of that.
You're listening to the Art and War podcast. Enjoy the show.
Well, I guess Merry Christmas, guys. This goes out on literally Christmas Day, right?
It does. So Merry Christmas, you filthy animals.
Yeah, Merry Christmas,
exciting.
you filthy animal. Happy non-denominational winter celebration.
Oh my god. Yeah, if we're known for anything, it's inclusivity here at Art and War.
Inclusivity, diversity is our strength here at the Art and War podcast.
So yeah, Merry Christmas. This is BR and Nathan, joined by a very special guest, I was going to say former E-Militia, but E-Militia forever, man. E-Militia co-host, Guns and Guillotines. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm so sorry in advance for the next indeterminate amount of time.
E-Militia was where I figured out podcasting, so yeah. That was a mess. This is a mess. Nothing has changed. But yeah, we're going to be talking all sorts of Christmas stuff, like, did the CIA kill JFK? And
yes,
that is Christmas tradition.
Yes, no, I mean genuinely. Whenever we get together with our families, are we not talking about this stuff anyway?
We do a reenactment every year on Christmas Eve.
Who gets to play JFK, Grandma?
Yeah, you get the youngest person in the room to play Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, I mean, I have a big family, so there's enough for like all the main players and then like all the CIA agents and stuff. There's plenty of room.
I love that.
Like, I'm pretty sure they dropped the JFK files around Christmas specifically because everyone is like too busy with Christmas and then too broke for Christmas. There's like multiple layers of stress to not give a fuck about JFK.
Yeah. I like how they basically, and I hate to make this comparison, but I also don't. Every time there's a mass shooting, like weeks later, it's no, the FBI.
We're 2 minutes
in. Merry Christmas, guys.
Go on.
Every time there's a fucking mass shooting, the first thing is like, the memes of like the FBI say the lines, "We knew about the shooter."
Yeah.
And now it's like, this goes way back. It's the FBI and the CIA very much knew about Lee Harvey Oswald, probably because he was employed by them, whether knowingly or not. But I like how it's just confirmed now, just absolutely confirmed.
See, my thing is, I haven't seen like the smoking gun, so to speak. Like, they dropped the files and everyone's like, yeah, now we know. But I still haven't seen the actual file that proves. I'm completely down with the theory that the CIA did it. Like, I don't doubt it, but
yeah,
I haven't seen the smoking gun yet, so I have no fucking clue what everyone's talking about. Like, Guns, do you know? Have you seen any of this shit?
Is this new information that you're talking about?
It came out a couple days ago.
Yeah.
Oh well, declassified. It's not new.
Well, yeah, in the according to the government, in the interest of like keeping or restoring faith in the government or something, they're like being open and clear. They have to like put out these documents because there's no reason to keep them secret anymore. Blah blah blah. AKA, they've had them, they've kept them secret for 60 years, and they've successfully redacted and falsified enough information to finally release like, I think it's like 10,000 plus documents or something.
So, it's a ton. It goes deep.
Yeah, so I'm like,
I haven't read those.
Well, neither have I, but
I didn't know that those existed, but regardless, I still think the CIA did it. Whether they said they did or whether they said they didn't, I don't
Well,
believe the government.
They admitted to a little bit more, which is like they actively. What they admit to is always several steps less than what they actually did. And the fact that they even admitted it's like, yeah, we knew about Lee Harvey Oswald. We were tracking him,
Yeah.
Like we were in correspondence with him.
Was that the takeaway? Because I genuinely didn't know the what the new information was. Was that
Oh
what
yeah,
was kind
yeah,
of
no, that it was very much like a we knew about the remember when it turns out that that mass shooter from not too long ago was in active correspondence with an FBI agent.
multiple of the recent shooters? Yeah.
Yeah. It was basically that kind of situations. Like, yeah, he was, and again, by their own admittance, and you trust the CIA about as far as you can, throw them. By their own admittance, being tracked because of a bunch of radical information that he sent, and very much not being hired by men in black suits to take a carcano to the sitting president.
Fucking nice. Well, there you go, guys. If you need something to argue with around the dinner table this Christmas, if everything's just a little too peaceful, ask your family their opinion on the JFK assassination.
Yeah.
Fucking quiet night.
Yeah. I got my dad sending me gun memes, which is interesting. I'm going to see if I can
What?
radicalize them. Yeah,
How the fuck did that happen?
I have no idea. 2 days ago, he comes over and he's like, "You're allowed to compete with a scope, and like I thought you just had to use iron sights." And today he's sending me memes about how your dog doesn't need a carry permit if you need to illegally stash your gun. I enjoy it. It's interesting. Hopefully, I can radicalize him further.
That is the weirdest character development I've ever heard.
Very weird. Did not expect it myself, but
God damn.
he's helping me redo some countertops. So
There you go. You got time to radicalize, and you know what? That's what the holidays are for. It's getting
exactly,
together with your loved
radicalizing
ones.
family members. Be the weird uncle.
Yes, bring a 30 rack of beer, and start pop it and be like, hey, so what's your thoughts on the FBI? And by 30, you can be saying, you can be talking about lizards, Operation Mockingbird.
Yeah. I feel like the only thing you really need to do to convince people that lizard people exist is point out the existence of Mark Zuckerberg.
That's an easy one. Guns, what's your go-to for upsetting the family at holiday gatherings?
Oh man, there's so much I could do to upset my family. Like, most of them are pretty liberal, So like, I could say something like, honestly, the whole country really started to go downhill after the 19th Amendment.
Yeah, I'm sure your sisters and mother love that one.
Yeah. So that might be what I do this year. I haven't done that one yet. We'll see. I should say that JFK wouldn't have been killed if the 19th Amendment never existed. Random spicy take with like I have no dog in this fight, but I'm just gonna throw that hand grenade in just to test the waters. Yeah, it's like I don't care, but whatever. Like, just say things to piss people off, See, that was my thing. Before I left England, it would always somehow guns would always come up in conversation because everyone knew that I liked shooting and had very strong opinions on it. So my grandparents would randomly ask me about it. I'm like, all right, well, here we go. Let's hash it out. Now that we're like 6 drinks deep, and all the presents have been passed out, let's argue.
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
Traditions.
I posted that stupid meme about the 19th Amendment, and I had a few people that were mad at me in the comments, and I'm like, if you really knew like anything about me, you know that this is nothing but a shit post. Like, I don't think anybody should be voting. Like, I think voting is stupid in general. Like, I've never once voted in an election. Like, I don't think anybody should be doing that shit. So I don't care.
I'm in support of any measure to make less people vote.
Fuck it, man.
Go from radically against the 19th Amendment to radically against democracy in like 20 minutes and see how crazy the family gets. I should clarify here that there's like 2 ways to say that you're anti-democracy. There's the like big red banners way, and there's the I wave a black flag and have chickens way, and our friend Guns is of the latter camp.
Yeah.
Before anyone goes too off the rails.
My mind jumps to a few years ago. We had a Chinese New Year gathering with all my Asian family, and by complete I just like grabbed something out of my my drawer, and it was 2019, and it was a Free Hong Kong T-shirt, and that I had a bottle of wine at that point, and it led to some very spirited conversation, which is like, Xi Jinping should be dragged outside and
tickled to glory.
I'd give anything to be stuck in a room with Xi Jinping and a pair of pliers for an hour, like kind of.
Hey, for our Chinese listeners, all two of you have made it through the firewall. We're big supporters of Winnie the Pooh here, so
yes, we love Winnie.
When the fuck is Chinese New Year?
February.
So it's kind of Christmas.
Yeah.
And what year is it in China? Are they like? Because don't like the Jews have like it's like the year 5000 or something.
The Yif 5000?
No, isn't it like
what?
the year 5000?
Yif 5000 sounds Jewy though.
Kinda.
Judeo. I gotta look this up now so people don't just think I'm retarded. Judeo calendar. What fucking year is it?
Dude, I know literally nothing about Judaism.
What year? No, neither do I. Yes, I'm right. Okay, cool. I'm not just being a fucking ignorant prick. What the year, according to the Hebrew calendar, is 5783.
Huh.
Damn, they're way ahead.
Yeah.
Even that up.
No one.
Do you just like meet him in the middle?
You ever play Wolfenstein?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
The new ones? Yeah, this is like the weird space Jew technology. That's why, because they're living 2,900 years ahead of us.
The year 6000.
Yeah.
Oh my Christ. Wait, so
wow,
what?
I'm a shitty Asian. My math there was bad.
I need to custom order some t-shirts that'll piss off my family. That was a good idea.
Do it.
Like the Free Hong Kong shirt, but I need to get one that says like double student debt or something like that. Like
do it. Do it.
See, I don't know. It's kind of a meme in our space that, and it's a shame in a way that holidays are always a really divisive time. You know, like.
Oh yeah.
And it sucks because a lot of us at the same time we're very much about like good, having a good strong family and all of that kind of thing, but unfortunately we kind of have to push things a little bit with loved ones because it's like, I love you so much, I'm willing to piss you off so you can maybe understand me a little better.
But a lot of these people are so like dyed in wool, you know.
You mean your family or just people in general?
Yeah, your family. Like, if you're like 60 or 70 years old, you're not going to fucking wake up and be like, yeah, you're right. Voting is a scam. Like, you're not going to do that.
Yeah, no, they've had 60 years of every 4 years being the most important election of their lifetime.
Yeah,
so
they voted in so many of the most important elections of all time.
Oh my god, have you seen the supercut of that? I enjoy that.
Oh, what the anchors or what are the news anchors saying it?
Yeah, this is the most important election of our lifetime. But at least we kept Orange Man out. Oh no, we're running against George W. Bush. This is the most important election of our lifetime. Or whoever the other one was. I can't remember. No one ever.
Gore.
Yeah, Al Gore. Yeah.
I'm super serious, guys.
Fuck Al Gore.
Fuck Al Gore.
Me and my homies hate Al Gore, dude.
All my homies hate Al Gore. Dude, I don't know. We might not have ended up in Iraq if it hadn't if Gore had won. We would just have like mass child slavery going on in Africa, like even more so to fuel all of our electric cars that were mandated in 2005. but we wouldn't have a bunch of global war on terror vets missing limbs. So kind of give and take.
I don't know. It all evens out, Like,
yeah.
I feel like we would have ended up in Iraq anyway. The question is just like, what's the reason?
Yeah, we would have had
Instead of weapons of mass destruction, it would have been like women's rights.
If Al Gore was elected, Wakanda would be a real nation by now.
we'd have electric powered Humvees over there, just
like it would have forced a technological revolution in Africa so quickly.
Why? I want to hear the reason.
Just like flying cars, fucking space cities.
I mean, that's where all the like mining and stuff happens for the batteries for cars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Lithium strip mining. It's
rubies and lithium.
Yeah,
African children have their hands all over them.
Yeah, somewhere
just proliferated there.
DiCaprio running around with a carry handle AR.
Oh no! Like they just announced, like the US just announced that we are going to be investing in Africa or whatever. It's same as China now because we're both in like a electric vehicle space race kind of deal. So we're both in a race to rape Africa as hard as we can. Also, guys, I really hope you're not listening to this with your family around. Like God fucking bless you if you are, but. You're an awful human being if you're playing.
No,
this
bring them in.
I disagree. I hope
bring in the kids.
Yeah, sit them all around the podcast.
Yep. Sit around the fire and the Christmas tree and have Art and War playing to all of your young nieces and nephews and just corrupt them nice and early. Oh, good lord. You're driving to your...
Totally unrelated, but because like I like this kind of relaxing episode, but random movie recommendation, Violent Night.
Oh yeah, that's what's his name, David Arbor or some shit.
Yeah, David Arbor. He's the guy from Stranger Things. But I was actually very pleasantly surprised at how good of a movie it was.
Oh, it's Harbor. I'm just dropping an H for no reason.
Yeah.
David Arbor.
I thought you were just being British.
David Arbor, yeah. Oh, geezer. No. No, I like him. I've heard a lot of good things about it. So
yeah, it's very good. It's directed by there's a movie that came out that was done by some of the creative team from John Wick. It was called Nobody, starring Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, great movie. It's up there for me.
All of the John Wick people are just making like badasses out of any balding middle-aged guy now.
Yeah,
we just with like choreography and camera angles. I dig it.
Yeah,
making David Harbour like kick the shit out of people with a beer gut.
Yeah,
David Harbour was Hellboy too, but that movie was a disaster.
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw that one. Thank God.
But he was a badass.
Enjoy the Hellboy
by all rights.
movies. Not the newest one. I haven't seen the newest one yet. I know he stars in that. But...
So you could either do that for your wholesome Christmas movie get together, or you could take edibles or your psychedelic of choice and go and see Avatar 2.
I liked Avatar 2.
Was it good?
I'm not gonna lie, like it's not gonna blow your mind. It's not super nuanced. It's not like a super deep story, but it is solid. It's fun. It was nice to look at. You know,
it does support eco-terrorism.
I mean, it was like it's pretty similar to the first one, clearly, because they've got to make it about humans. You know, like there's just not a whole lot
where it's like, and hopefully this isn't a spoiler. BR, if this ends up being a spoiler, please just like put a loud bleep over it. I hated this about the first Avatar movie. I fucking hated. Made me like simultaneously support the humans more, and also just like.
You can't go saying things like that, man.
You know where my politics sit, but like basically for the humans by the end of Avatar, I was putting on a red armband and like fucking.
Oh my Christ! Wait. So what's the spoiler?
Yeah, where are you getting at, dude?
The whole like. Okay, so the end of Avatar, and there's that tree, and they have to destroy it, and their solution to that is like, hey, they've got like fucking dragons and whatever. Flying creatures that they fuck with their hair. And like our solution to having to destroy this massive tree, we've already established in this canon that we have like orbital nukes and just like the power of fucking gods. And our solution is essentially fly the slowest, heaviest plane we have and push out literal crates of explosives from the back. And it's like at this point,
Cameron.
there is a thing in screenwriting where it's like, coincidences can only hurt the main characters. It can never help. and like every
No,
single
they couldn't use a thermonuclear weapon because the reason they had to remove that tree is because they were needing a specific element that had large deposit of it was located there. If they used any kind of nuclear,
the unobtainium.
Unobtainium was right under the tree, right?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like it's the same sort of thing that like Starship Troopers had, except Starship Troopers didn't take itself seriously. Which is like, hey, we have an enemy that literally their only thing relies on physical contact, and they did everything that they had troops on the ground. They had like a slow flying space AC-130 that they're pushing explosives out the back. Like, has anyone ever heard of an ICBM? We have those. We have those like now. We have those these days.
They could have even just like done like it doesn't even have to be a nuke. Could have just cruise missiled the fucking thing if they're gonna explode it anyway, right? Use like you're right. No, that's kind of. I mean, I think that's gonna be basically the crux of every single Avatar movie is that the military somehow holds back for X reason, and then
just to like make it believable in the plot, where it's like I think a 12-year-old who plays StarCraft can think of better tactics than they had. It's like. You're going hand to hand with the only thing they can do is hand to hand.
Yeah.
And the entire plot relies on, oh my god, sorry, okay, I'm done complaining about Avatar.
No.
But I do challenge anyone listening to this, and yeah, I'm stealing another meme, I don't care. Name 3 characters from the first Avatar, if you've not seen the second one. It's like Jake Sully, okay, that's it. Navi or whatever, and I'm lost on the third. The cool guy who I was supporting by the end with the scar.
Stephen Lang.
Yeah,
Stephen Lang, whoever the fuck Stephen Lang plays.
Whoever he plays, it's like by the very end, it's like that is I'm in that guy's corner, even though he's tactically retarded.
Now I don't know. It was nice to see a bunch of blue people ambushing. I won't give too much away, but ambushing humans again and out of the bushes.
Aren't we supposed to be the ones ambushing the blue people?
No, Nathan, they wear blue helmets. They're not actually blue.
Makes no difference to me.
Fuck. How's it going, lads and ladies? BR and Nathan here to take a quick break to tell you about our Patreon. Not only do we want to continue improving the quality of what we can do here on Art and War, but we want to push what we do all over at Seaburn Art, from the guides to pursuing video content, and keeping us warm during another winter of illness and death, and the Patreon helps us get after it.
But what's in it for you? Our Patreon subscribers enjoy 5 different tiers of exclusive perks, ranging from all the content we'd post on a pre-Zuckerberg Instagram, downloadable high-resolution guides, targets such as Redcoat Skinwalkers, John Harvey Kellogg, seasonal targets, and more. Behind-the-scenes info like my personal art, introducing all new exclusive mini-podcast episodes, and at our highest tier, get monthly art commissions created by yours truly.
You can find our Patreon via the link in this episode's description, at patreon.com/SeaburnArt, or in the Seaburn Art page's bio on Instagram.
This episode was brought to you by AWS, Advanced Warfighting Solutions.
We use the out of their gear here at Art and War.
Everything's made in North Carolina, and they make everything.
Everything.
I'm a big fan of their SMU War Belt, the snack pack, their assault pack, their plate carrier, kind of a big fan of everything. And they've been around for a long time with a lot of hard-use kit.
Overseas and here at home.
Sorry, I'm just reattaching my phone so it'd come loose. This is my fidget spinner, okay?
I know. AWS is our longest running sponsor, and they've helped us do a little bit of everything here at Art and War, from keeping the guides coming out by providing Nathan a new iPad, as well as chucking gear our way so we can get out there on the range.
Tough as hell gear so they can help us go LARP in the woods.
Yep, my assault pack comes out with me every time I'm in the woods. If you want to pick up a one-and-done Molly pistol belt, look no further than the AWS SMU belt. Use code ARTandWar10 for $10 off. We get no kickbacks, you just save money. Link to their site down in the description and in the Seaburn Art page's bio. Thanks for listening. Now let's get back to the show. Alright, well, pivoting away from consume. Actually, I guess going right back into consume.
Yes, perfect.
And staying on the topic of Christmas. Should we tell our kids the truth about Santa?
Yeah, that he's real and he's based, and I just saw a movie where he plowed through an entire, SWAT team with a fucking sledgehammer. Yes, go watch Violent Night. Consume.
Incredible. Very based.
Wait a minute. Your biggest gripe about Avatar is the realism of tactics used to fight an alien race. But you don't have a similar gripe about a fictional character using a sledgehammer to plow through 20 guys.
Yes, it was awesome.
Phrasing.
I mean, that's
because I think a thing about movies is a big part that predicates how much I like a movie, and I like most movies, I genuinely do, but it's how seriously the movie takes itself. If the movie takes itself seriously, I expect like some effort to be put into the writing. If it's a movie about Santa smashing his way through a SWAT team with a sledgehammer, then like all belief is out the window already. Yes, is it a movie about like alien like blue people who fuck animals with their hair? Yes, it is. But like the movie at least endeavored to take itself seriously, like within the universe.
I can
Like
respect that.
it's kind of the same thing with like Prometheus and the new Alien movie, where it's like you like it is such a good movie in every way except the writing.
Yeah, no, you're
And
completely right. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, because of how much it exceeds and does well in every other regard, it makes like the slight like the mediocrity shine that much brighter.
Yeah, Avatar never, kind of has a wink at the audience kind of moment where it's like, isn't this fucking silly? It's like, no, Ewa, and we're gonna fuck animals with our hair and soul bond with them, even though we basically treat them like fucking motorbikes. Like, no, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, Santa. Getting back on the question, should we tell our kids the truth about Santa?
Yeah, that he's real and he's based.
He's real and based. No, this is something that my opinion has flipped recently. Like Guns, what do you think about this? Would you tell your kids that Santa delivers presents for them?
Yes, I would.
What's your reasoning?
So Santa was ruined for me very early, like probably 6 years old, maybe 7.
Damn.
My neighbor, this pair of sisters that lived like across the street, just told me one day, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. I wasn't like super upset or anything, but ever since then,
kind of mean to them.
It's just kind of sad, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
kids only have a finite amount of time on this earth to be innocent and like live in kind of fantasy land, and so they should. Like, you've got 68 years of bone crushing misery of paying taxes and life struggle and shit. It's like, you should get to believe that a man who wears red and white fluff delivers fucking presents to your household because you've been good. Why the fuck not?
There's like just been less and less magic in the holidays ever since then, every year. And now it's like I go to work tomorrow night. I'm going to work 12 hours and then I'm going to get off. I'm going to get home at like 8 a.m. on Christmas Eve and I'm going to struggle to cook, no sleep, go spend some time with my family, tell them that JFK was murdered by the CIA and that women shouldn't have the right to vote. And then I'm going to get drunk. I'm going to go to sleep. Hopefully, I'm going to wake up on Christmas Day and nothing is going to happen. I'm not going to be near anybody. Nobody's going to reach out. It's just going to be me with some leftover spiked eggnog. And that's it. And then you know what happens the day after that?
You gotta work again.
I go back to work, and then nothing, and that's it. So like, no. Damn it! If I could have had 3 or 4 more years of believing in the magic of Christmas and enjoying that to the fullest extent of possibility, I would take it. You know what? Because you're right. It is finite.
I respect that.
Thank you, Guns. Extremely based and wholesome and sad all at the same time. No, I had a bit of a growing up moment, because me being the recovering edgy atheist. I'm still an atheist, but I'm no longer edgy.
I have a question about Christmas in the UK.
All right, shoot.
Is it like, I'm sure it's not quite as like I'm just going to use the word Americanized because you know exactly what I'm talking about when I say that.
It's less plastic, for sure.
Yeah, so, but like Santa and reindeer and all that shit, like, that's still a thing. You mean
Father Christmas? Right? Yeah, Father Christmas. We don't call him Santa. Santa's very American.
Okay, all right. So like, he comes down your chimney and
yep,
gives you presents and shit?
Yep. It certainly does. And
okay, does it give you call if you're bad?
oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
I mean it's similar, but I think British versus American celebrations, like Halloween is a very I don't want to say very new, but it's a much newer thing for Britain and Europe. It's more like Lucas explained on the Halloween episode. You know, it's very much a it Samhain originally originated as an Irish thing and then came to America and then kind of got exported back as this plastic version. And I don't want to say like it went to America and came back, but it's kind of the same thing in England where our holidays are just a bit more. I don't know. They're less mass manufactured. They're certainly getting that way more and more every year. And honestly, I can't speak for England anymore because it's been a couple of years since I've been there, so it very well might have caught up. But like Black Friday when I was younger, when I was like a teenager, wasn't a fucking thing in England, and kind of because we don't have like a Friday after Thanksgiving in England, you know, and so like very much that whole consumer part of the holiday wasn't as much a focus. Like obviously, you know, companies are still making their money and still cashing in on the holidays, but it wasn't like prove your love by spending money. It was get together, have some stupid weird traditions, you know, exchange gifts and stuff, of course. But I don't know. It was more just about wholesome kind of Christmas Carol kind of vibes, you know, rather than
let's consume.
Yeah, and no, I feel kind of like you were talking about a second ago. Like as I've gotten older, both in England and in general, Christmas has gotten a lot less magical. And it's kind of fucking sad. Like I imagine for a kid in England, I mean, you know, Christmas is Christmas. They get gifts and stuff, but I can't imagine that the holiday is as much as pure as it was. And maybe this is like just an old man thing that everyone says as they get older, but I can't imagine it was as pure as when I was growing up. You know, for like kids nowadays, I imagine it's a lot more about just getting whatever fucking, you know, the newest thing, and it's not really about spending as much time with family and all that kind of vibe. So
yeah,
I don't know. It's it was definitely pretty fairly different to how it is in America, but it's getting less different, to answer that.
Okay, well, anyway, you said before I took you off the rails there, you you had a recent development, like a recent change of heart about your opinions on the truth of Santa or something.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, I think it's very much been a growing up thing. Like, you know, a few years ago, not more than a few years ago, I might have been very like a bit more militant on my opinions on like religion and stuff, and nowadays I'm like, no, you do you, of course. And it used to be similar with Santa. Oddly, I was like, growing up, I was kind of annoyed as a young kid. I was like, well, why the fuck would they lie to us? I mean, for one, they're the ones spending the money, so surely they should get the recognition, you know, whatever. I thought it was kind of silly to have all that song and dance, and then I kind of blamed the more corporate aspect of it, like, oh, parents are expected to spend extra money to please the kind of general tradition going on. Like, it's an expectation that you have gifts from parents and, you know, Santa. And I was like, you know, so I was like, well, I'm not sure. You know, Santa is very much like a cool symbol of Christmas, but maybe we shouldn't have gifts from Santa unless they're like, you know, chocolates or like small things or something like that. Then I grew up a little bit and kind of realized, like, you know what? As I've realized how fucking dark and miserable and crushing the world can be at times, kids need to have as much, like you were saying, as much light and kind of some space from all of that shit. As long as they can have it, they need to have that. So now I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. Santa, you know, treated you right this year, didn't he, kid? and when they figure it out, you know, end of the day, the appreciation will be the same. They'll be like, oh, that was my parents putting in some extra effort to.
Yeah, it'll definitely come back, you know, no matter what.
Oh yeah, and not that it's about the recognition from the kids or anything, but like, you know, it's, I don't know. The main thing is giving your kids a brighter world, I think, for as long as you can.
I can only, like I said, like it was broken to me when I was like 6. So I really can only remember a couple Christmases where I believed that Santa was real. And it was like absolutely insane to get out of bed in the morning and to go downstairs and see that my parents, like, that I didn't know at the time, but like what they did, they like ate half the cookies, you know what I mean? And then they like organized all these gifts under the tree and shit like that. It was me and my sisters. It was fucking crazy. I was like, holy shit, this dude brought all this stuff down my chimney and set all of it up. It was magical, for real. And like that just died so quickly. And now it's like, I mean, obviously, like I wouldn't still believe in Santa if it wasn't ruined, but I didn't even get to enjoy that in my prime years of childhood.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I could have, I would appreciate that to this day, because like, I mean, after my parents got divorced, Christmas kind of fucking died anyway, but like, I don't know, it would have been nice. So yeah. And it can be problematic because if you're a well-off family, Santa's buying you some really cool shit, you know?
Yeah. And then he's giving the poor kid at school like some fucking socks and some oatmeal, and you're like, well, he brought you like a bike and a new Xbox and blah blah blah, and you're like, what the fuck, Santa's kind of a dick.
Like, you could just be like the best kid like all year. You know, like, your parents are poor. Santa's like, yeah, get fucked. Here's a pair of shoes that you literally just need.
Yeah, your parents aren't in the right tax bracket, so old Saint Nick takes account of that. Fuck. What's your opinion, Nate?
That both of you are wrong. Santa is real. Santa is still real.
The correct opinion.
The correct and only opinion that matters. And fuck anyone who does not believe in Santa. You are terrible. And that we all learned in the I think it was 2003 documentary Elf, that Santa's sleigh relies on Christmas spirit. So if heathens like you decide to be unbelievers, you are actively taking away from Santa's power. So Santa's real. Cope.
And if I continue to be a Santa atheist, he's gonna come down my chimney and beat the fuck out of me with a sledgehammer.
I feel like if I could like ironically suspend belief enough to continue that message into my adult years, that like I would have a better time at Christmas.
Yeah.
You'd be enthusiastically telling all your coworkers like, man, I can't wait to see what Santa brings me, and they're all just
yeah, dude, like I'd have more fun, for real. I would. Like, yeah, I think it's a good thing for sure. I think people that are going to raise their kids, and like there's like a certain hive mind aspect of being a child, unless you're like homeschooled and you never socialize ever. You don't play with kids or anything ever. They all know about Santa. All kids, like. So you're just gonna be the 4-year-old that's like, my parents told me that Santa's not real.
Yeah, no, seriously. Wouldn't that be a fucked up weird thing? Like, yeah, my parents say that, Santa doesn't exist, so you guys are idiots, and your parents are stupid. Like, what a fucking awful situation to put your kid in.
And then the parents are like, look, like, I get that you homeschool your kid and everything, but you're not welcome to have any more play dates with my son. Like, go move into the mountains where you belong, you weirdo.
Just ruined Santa for my kid, you dick. No, it's a weird thing parenting in that regard. So there's a lot of stuff that's kind of like you're all in it together, like the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny and stuff. Like you kind of have to, especially in America where it's like so forced on you. I guess it's I don't know why. It's because it's profitable, but there's such an idea that these characters. And you have to be absolutely down, otherwise your kids are fucked. They're gonna get shit at school.
100%. I think because of my early deconstruction of the Christmas spirit, I didn't have much spirit about other things either, like the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, but not even holiday things. Like, if you're telling me that Santa can't be real, then how are you going to tell me that God is real?
Oh, fuck. You're like, those two things they were in a basket, and if Santa's not real, well, fuck, the whole system's gone.
Oh, it's like you ask me like to suspend my belief to believe that this man is traveling around the whole world at night, squeezing through chimneys
to celebrate Jesus' birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's doing all this, and like, no, that's not real. That's silly. You shouldn't believe that. Okay. If that amount of power is silly, and I shouldn't believe it, then how is the all-powerful being that could do that in half the time?
Man, your neighbors really fucked you.
That could do anything at all. Like, incomprehensible things. I'm not supposed to. That's okay though. I'm supposed to be like, yeah, that seems legit.
There is a very genuine and real takeaway from all of this. It's kind of like ruining the magic in a child's mind at such a young age could have like really profound effects on your viewpoint of the world. Like, Guns, you might be an anarchist because someone ruined Santa for you at 6 years old.
I might be.
It might have just been a fucking domino effect.
If you destroyed my ability to believe that a man has that amount of power, you destroyed my ability to believe that a man has any power at all.
That's deep. In like 100 years, that'll be a fucking quote with like your profile picture. Someone talk about anarchism. Oh, fuck me. I don't know, like, my parents went all in. I don't know if you guys' parents did this when you were little, but my parents,
they went all in.
Like, I don't think I ever caught my parents, because my dad was military, so he was up at the crack of dawn anyway, but he'd come through, 2 a.m. to stack the presents and shit, and, when we were younger, leave out milk and cookies, and by the time I was, like, probably 8, it was whiskey and cookies. Always gone. And like some crumbs left, and I was like fucking blown away.
Yeah.
If there was snow outside, there'd be like some fucking wet footprints, maybe. Fucking.
So they really put the effort in.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
That's great.
Yeah, that's actually fantastic.
I don't know why I was like, man.
Wait, what do you mean they put the effort in? Santa did that.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
You think your dad would put the effort into making wet footprints outside? No, that was fucking Santa.
No, I don't know. Like, I've been Santa pilled, I guess. I did a 180 on being like, nah, my kids should just have a very black and white view of the world. To being like, nah, my kids should fucking believe in magic, dude. As long as they fucking can.
Yeah. Don't take that innocence from them. It's like, for as long as they can, we should shelter the fact the world is dog shit from them, because they'll figure it out on their own sooner or later.
Yeah, and by the time they're old enough, they'll be fit enough to run an AR. So we have solutions.
And they will always believe in Santa.
yeah. Honestly, even while they still believe in Santa, you can teach them to man crew-based weapons. So
exactly,
all is good. I don't know. That's a wholesome topic to me.
I am gonna make eggnog though.
Right now? Good. Do it.
No, not right now, but it's actually a pretty intense process. But like, I'm bringing it to my family gathering on Christmas Eve.
I've definitely tried eggnog, but out of a carton. But I still, to this day, don't really know what the fuck it is exactly.
It's like
presumably
80%
there is
eggs.
Nice. Based.
Yeah. It's a lot of eggs.
Based
is it just like the entire egg whisked up, or?
No, separate egg white and egg yolk, and then you do the cooking process. Well, it's not really a cooking process, but you process the yolks, and then you whip the whites, and then when you're done cooking, quote unquote, like it's not really cooking, but whatever, you fold the whipped egg whites into your egg yolk and milk mixture, and then that forms the nog. And then you put whiskey in it. That's
really interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I always assumed that it like had eggs in it, but I thought it was mostly like a cream-based thing. But it's definitely egg-based. Like, it's mostly egg, which like is a little off-putting if you didn't know that and discovered it, but it's good. I like it. It's heavily
And then
requested.
So eggnog, fucks, it's wonderful.
Yeah, eggnog's good, dude.
It's one of those magical things that I'm such a Grinch about many things. I am never a Grinch about the nog.
Is it? I I don't know why the fuck. I think it's because I've watched too many Christmas films. But I just imagine Canada to be like Christmas land year round for some fucking reason.
Christmas land year round?
Yeah, do you guys have eggnog in the stores year round? I don't know why the fuck I feel like that's a thing.
No, it's mostly seasonal. I think. I mean, maybe depending where you are, but I'm in a city, and I don't think I ever see it when it's not around Christmas.
Okay,
But you can
good.
make it any time of year.
Yes, you can indeed make it any time of year.
I need to try some like homemade eggnog because out of the carton sounds fucking gruesome.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it as a kid, and then I was like, I'd like to bring. What started it is that I wanted to get drunk in an appropriate manner at my family Christmas Eve functions, and I was like, the only way to do that appropriately is if I brought spiked eggnog, seasonally appropriate.
Just sipping it and gradually getting wasted.
So I just did it one year, and then everybody fucking loved it, and they were like, "You got to do this again." And I did the same thing when I brought my mac and cheese to Thanksgiving, and then that quickly became a demand for Christmas Eve and for Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna be busy. Maybe whipping up that nog and grating that cheese and getting off work at 7 in the morning.
Oh, Christ.
Doing all
That's
this
just
shit.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
You should try those. It's not that hard to do. It's not that hard to make.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try it. I kind of want to build a gingerbread house this year. Just go back to roots.
Yeah, like honestly, if I should be doing shit like that.
Yeah.
Because I have my Christmas spirit's dead. If it were up to me, Santa would never fly again.
That's
my
it should
Christmas
be grounded for life.
and Joe Biden killed it.
Yeah, man. I need to do more fun shit.
Same.
No,
I think you can have Christmas spirit without buying into the corporate, the how manufactured everything has become. I think.
I like how France does it, honestly.
How does France do it, and why the fuck would you know that?
I don't know if France has probably become more and more corporatized, consumer based, and Americanized as the years have gone on. But they it's Saint Nicholas, and then if you're good, he puts candy in one of your shoes.
Oh yeah, it's what the Dutch do. They
it's that. Just it's much more low key, and it's not really going to put anybody in a super disadvantageous spot economically, it's not going to shit on poor kids for yeah, sorry, you were really good, but fuck you, here's an etch a sketch,
yeah.
Shit like that. It's just and it's also more community based because there's the whole, I don't know if this is a origin in France, but I know that France does it, the Yule log thing.
Yes.
Which sounds Scandinavian to me, so probably is. But I know that France does that, and they used to gift members of their community this big ass log that they could burn to keep warm during the holiday season, and then gradually that turned into a cake, and so now people make the Yule log cake and share it with their people for the holiday. It's more community based.
Not stuffing your face with cake.
Yeah, it's just. It's more low key. It's just a little better to me, but
yeah. Keeping things more and I know the stereotype is oh, Christmas is about family, but a lot of people say that. It took me a while to realize a lot of people say that, but not a ton of people do it. And there is truth in it. There's absolutely and I feel like cultures that keep to that more. It's about spending time with your loved ones and making a community. And cultures that actually keep it a lot more community-based generally spend less money and they're a lot happier. I feel it's more of an enriching experience, but there's so much money to be made in just, go buy things, go consume product.
Yeah, turning a communal and familial holiday into keeping up with the Joneses is pretty fucking dark when you think about it.
Yeah, it's a very Western thing to do, though. It's happened to genuinely every holiday.
Yeah. So apparently the Yule log is Germanic and Anglo-Saxon.
Yeah, I figured it was more up north because Yule just sounds like just gives that vibe. But I learned about it studying, France. So
Why
they
the
must
fuck
do
are
it
you
to some
studying
extent.
France?
Just in school,
What the fuck do they teach you out there?
It teaches about France. I don't like much about the way France does things.
Dude, I mean, the turtlenecks is like a step too far for me.
Like you go to France and you're like, "Hey man, can I get a Coca-Cola?" And they're like, "Sure." And they just bring you an 80-degree Coca-Cola. And
You
like,
get
like,
American.
can I have some ice? And they're like, "Why the fuck would you want ice? Fucking weirdo. Just drink the lukewarm Coca-Cola." Yeah, that'll be $6, by the way, no refills.
Welcome to Europe.
A lot of people in France don't have AC. Get the fuck out of here. I could never.
Dude, in England we don't have AC, and every single summer it's like everyone fucking says it. Like, why don't we have AC? And I don't know. I'm pretty sure still to this day on new builds they don't bother with AC, and then they'll like fucking sweat it out during the summer and be like, "This is the hottest summer on record. Oh bloody hell, we're all fucking dying." You turn it on the AC, the electricity bills, and then in winter they'll freeze their dicks off, and then next year it's right back to it. Like, oh no AC, oh fucking hell.
Yeah,
I love all of the American AC memes during the summer. Like Brits just like sweating, and then it'll be like some fat American Wojak like with shades on the American flag and AC blasting in their face. Like, fuck you, Brit Bong.
It's nice.
At least we don't have to worry about climate change.
I could not go back. If I will probably never visit Europe ever again during the summer.
I can't blame you.
I'll be like, yeah, this is Europe. Fucking sucks here, doesn't it? I don't know what the hell's going on. We haven't discovered modern infrastructure. Meanwhile, it's essential to make the Southwest exist.
It's too hot. We're all fucking dying.
Yeah, it gets
funny.
ridiculous here even. It's really funny. All my friends in like Pacific Northwest America are having a significantly colder winter than I am in fucking Eastern Canada. It's like on average, I think 40 to 50 degrees most days here right now.
Dude,
Really?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we had
it's tilted on its axis.
Yeah, it's pretty close to what it is here. So
yeah, no, it's not bad. Like we haven't really had much in the way of snow. Some flurries here and there, but for the most part, it's above freezing.
damn. Well, I hope we don't get any snow because snow just, cripples us. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
we can't handle that shit at all.
Yeah. Snow in America is like a heat wave for the Brits. It's something that's going to be happening a lot more, but it's like, interestingly enough, a friend of mine got hired in. He's from here and he worked in civil infrastructure in my city. He got hired in Texas because they need to rejigger infrastructure to now be put up with the possibility of snowfall.
Yeah, because they got fucked so hard last year, and they were kind of a laughingstock for it. But I just saw a thing about their governor, what's his name, Greg Abbott, boasting about how they're going to be fine this winter, and I'm like, all right, buddy, we'll see.
Yeah.
So what are your? I mean, you haven't been here long, BR. You don't really.
I've been here a few years, mate. You know this.
Yeah, but do you have you established any of your own holiday traditions?
You know, honestly, because we have fucking cats, we don't even have a Christmas tree, so we're working on them. I think me and the lady are gonna be, I don't know. The only Christmas tradition we have is so fucking dorky. We do a Star Wars marathon. We haven't done it this year though.
That's nice. That's just nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the two of us at the minute. So like, I think the first year it happened because my girlfriend had never seen. I don't think she'd seen Star Wars 1 through 6, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know, the prequels and the original trilogy, all the way through, ever.
AKA the good ones.
The good ones, indeed. And fuck anyone who hates on the prequels. Jar Jar's my guy.
Jar Jar supremacy.
Jar Jar supremacy. No, honestly, it's only for episode 3, but you have to be in for episode 1 and 2 as well. Otherwise, you kind of cheating yourself. But no, we did like a Star Wars marathon, and I don't think all 3 of the sequels, which are fucking god awful.
I haven't seen the newest one. I haven't seen the third prequel, which everyone tells me I should, and I haven't seen the third.
Wait! You've never seen
What?
Revenge of the Sith?
Is that the third prequel? No, I haven't. I just never have.
You've never seen Revenge of the Sith?
Yes, no, I have not.
That's like the best. That's the best of the prequels.
Yeah, for sure, easily.
Plus, there's so many memes in it.
Everyone says that.
Dude, how do you understand the internet in the year 2022 without seeing 2005's masterpiece episode, Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith?
So many memes about it. It's like, oh, I have the high ground, all that like stuff. But I never watched it. It just never happened. I keep on being like, yes,
Damn.
today is the day I'm going to watch Star Wars Episode 3, the good one, and then I just never have.
I watched it in theaters. It's pretty good.
What the fuck? I didn't.
Yeah.
I was living out in some tiny village. So
I've seen every Star Wars in theater. Like my dad had me grow up on Star Wars, so the first time I ever watched them, they were replaying it in theaters in the UK. Funny enough.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I lived in the UK. Yeah. And
I'm sorry.
and no, it's garbage. Fuck the UK.
Based.
It was in Berkshire and Reading.
Berkshire?
Berkshire.
A Berkshire cunt.
Yeah, no, it was a whole time. But I Star Wars is such a special place in my heart. I remember when I was 13 years old, Santa, the real Santa, not my dad, got me the Lego clone gunship. And
fuck yeah, dude.
The best thing, and that is like one of my quintessential childhood memories.
My biggest regret in life is being as charitable as I am. I had so many Lego Star Wars sets growing up, and then as I stopped playing with toys and just grew out of it, I was like, I don't really have any use for these, so I donated them all to the special needs classes of my school.
Oh no, you needed them more than they did.
For sure. I absolutely did. They weren't going to respect the lore.
No, God no. It's like you could have given them
wings off and swapping heads.
Yeah, you could have given them a bunch of old dog toys and they would have been happy.
Next thing you know, you've got Mace Windu's head on Obi-Wan's body. They're fucking little monsters.
And now here I am, like
blackface Obi-Wan.
Blackface Obi-Wan.
I'm like, here I am decades later, and I'm like, I wish. Fuck those kids. I wish I still had all.
No, it's not
my
too
Lego
late
sets.
to go back there and steal all their Legos.
Dude,
because they were cool, man. I had some good ones for real.
I think I can one up you. I had several hundred like OG first release and probably second generation as well, which are probably worth something at this point. Like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards as a little kid.
Oh
and
shit!
I had hundreds for whatever reason, and eventually I was like, yeah, cards are fucking stupid. This is all a scam, and I sold all of them. It was about the time like I don't want to age myself too hard actually, so I won't say that, but I'd
I always just say my exact age is 13 to I can't remember, like 73 or something like that. Like
between 13 and 73.
Yeah.
Feed that into the Google marketing algorithm. They thought I was a 55-year-old woman for a while.
Yeah, I feel that. But so I sold all of these cards, like 200 plus of Yu-Gi-Oh and old Pokemon cards for like 20 to this kid, and I was like, what a fucking sucker! That kid is a fucking idiot.
That kid took you for a ride.
Oh no, that kid is probably like some Fortnite streaming, like, you know, he's probably worth at least a few 100,000 by now, because he's like, yeah, I just, you know, he probably didn't grow out of those cards by the time they were worth like stupid money per card.
Yeah.
So yeah, big regret. I'm dumb and poor, and that kid is probably has like a boss gaming setup and, you know, 40 followers on Twitch and living his best life.
Yeah.
So fuck you, random Zoomer.
It is insane to me how, well, like during peak pandemic, the weirdest things got popular again, like bicycling. Pokemon cards was a big one. It's like a lot of hobbies became really popular. Like you couldn't buy weights for a little while, but Pokemon cards is the one that gets me, and it kind of shines a light on like escapist nerdy fantasies became in vogue again, and the value on things just shot right up.
It's funny because they came both back in vogue and then were also like just repulsive to some people. Like it was a real stark divide between people being like, yeah, I'm gonna get into this super niche nerdy hobby because I've got fuck all going on, and then the other half were like, I'm gonna go outside and get away from consumerism and fuck all of this plastic shit. It's distraction. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Which way, Western man?
I will not eat the bugs. Yeah, people went like they zoomed off in one direction or the other, and now we have I like mountain and machine gun, or
Like,
or I have 300 Funko Pops, and you know, and I have 30 anime statues.
But, honestly, like I wish that statement wasn't as true as it is, but it really has been. It's like it was either really good or really bad for a lot of people, depending how you look at it.
Our generation got their shit rocked. It's
Yeah.
like, all right, what kind of guy are you gonna be?
Actually, oh man,
Or option C. Now you build 3D printed machine guns in your garage. You know.
yeah. Oh god, there's this guy. You know, like Foscad, like it's somewhere where some of the printed gun guys that we've had on the show have gone.
Yeah.
There's some guy he lives in Europe somewhere, and he's just like building machine guns in his basement. And
the guy that did the upgrade of the FGC.
Yeah, that guy. He has another one that's just like
control.
a 22. It's like a 22 pistol that's fully automatic, and it's like kind of the same as the FGC, is in like it's all just scrap parts, and like there's just videos of him just, like he just suppressed and he's mag dumping it in his basement. It's like, okay, this guy is awesome. He doesn't give a fuck.
He won't last long.
Oh fuck, with love. Like no, honestly, I fucking adore just the absolute unhinged attitude of a European. Like I love to death all of the American 3D printing devs who are like pushing this stuff and have kind of the ability to do so reasonably safely in terms of law enforcement, and then you just have like the absolutely out of their fucking mind geniuses in Europe who are like, I'm just gonna build machine guns in my basement until they find me.
Like, do y'all remember? I don't know if he reached out to y'all, but years ago there was this page. I think he was New Zealand based.
Yes.
And he like, this is really before the 3D printing craze, so he was just machining gun parts and like just making like genuinely homemade firearms. And he was like reaching out to me, and he was like, "Hey man, can you do me a favor, man? Can you please ship me some ammo, dude?" I was like, yo, this glows brighter than the sun. I am not sending you fucking ammo. Are you crazy? Like, no, absolutely not. And then he just stopped posting.
Oh no,
yeah. Power to him. I really hope they never found him.
Someone like that would have been like big news. You know, they like they find an old SKS in Australia, and it's all over the news for like a week. So I wonder if they caught him or if he actually was indeed of the glowing variety.
Well, I mean, some people don't. A lot of people don't know is, you know, New Zealand being a Commonwealth country, it is very much fucking fascist.
Yeah,
Jacinda Ardern is a fucking monster.
She's awful.
She's a lunatic. But yeah, no. If they had have found him, yeah, we definitely would have ended up hearing about it in our circles.
Yeah,
I think unless they just took him to a fucking Antarctic black site or something.
Yeah. I have heard, and I don't know how on good authority this is, and it might just be hopium, but we have a few Kiwi listeners, so I'm curious about them repealing the semi-auto ban that she ordered and counseled.
Really?
I don't know how true that is. It might just be pure hopium, but I'm curious. You know, if you're from there and you have more insight, because I genuinely like, if you type these things into Google, nothing good is going to come up.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah, if anyone wants to shed some light on that, just send us a message, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I would be fucking shocked unless there was like a very strong gun rights like group there that was funding like a legal battle, but fuck knows.
Yeah,
Well,
good
like,
luck with that.
the thing with
No, seriously.
the semi-auto thing is like, because they're trying to do it here, and they're actually having a lot of pushback from like indigenous groups and hunters and whatnot, to the point where like the further left party is starting to not support the semi-auto ban. So it's possible it could be something along the lines of that, like indigenous
The old-
hunters and things like that are affected.
I get that. I get that in Canada you kind of have to take what you can get. So,
Yeah,
like people are like, well, a lot of people use it for hunting, and they're like, okay, then there might be some merit to it.
Yeah.
I hate when Americans do that shit so
Yeah.
much.
Oh yeah, it's
They're like,
giving
people
up the
use
battle
that gun for
what's
hunting all the time. I'm like, fuck you and fuck your hunting. It is not about that. It has never been about that.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter at all. If you like, okay, I use a bazooka for hunting. It's super efficient. I can take out a whole fucking herd in one round. Like,
Dude, unironically, I would definitely use a bazooka on hogs if they were
oh,
terrorizing
for
my
sure,
property.
yeah, absolutely. Groundhogs.
Yeah.
As a side note,
That'd be so fun.
kind of like tangentially related, I gave my dad a copy of that book that I worked on. Like when I say I worked on it, I mean I barely did anything. I just did like a few drawings. But the author, Jonathan Wild Arms Research and Development.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and
DIY rocket launchers for anyone.
yeah,
who's
he's not
familiar.
going to hear this, but I'm going to shill his book because it's awesome. And I also worked a bit on it, and you can get it on Amazon. How to build like a Flaggerfaust in your garage, like an anti-aircraft rocket launcher.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah,
The guy's a recovering Brit as well.
yeah, he's a recovering Brit. I thought he was Australian initially for some reason, but no, he's not. Anyways, I gave a copy of that to my dad over Christmas, and I was very surprised to see he genuinely seemed quite interested. So
slowly warming up for industrial society.
yeah,
I'm just like, like you don't understand what rights are, man. If you're like begging at the knees of the government, being like, "But please, that's how I feed my family. That's what I use to hunt." Like nobody cares about that. They never will. Like you just need to say,
"Fuck you,
get fucked."
Yeah,
and come try. Stack up or fuck off. Like that's if everybody that was, because a lot of those people are like adamant in their belief about gun rights, but I believe that they're wrong and why.
Yeah.
Like there's like countless millions of people that are adamant about gun rights, but not a lot of people are going to tweet "fuck you, no" directly to the president of the United States.
Yeah. Which I think, like, go ahead, ban them all. Fucking ban them all. Who cares? Like, if no one, like, laws are only as strong as the people who are willing to enforce them, the people who are willing to follow them. Without that, they're just fucking words on paper. If anything, I'm kind of like glad about these bans because people are finally like, oh well, fuck it. If I'm going to be a felon anyway, may as well go the whole way.
Dude, some of the comments I'm seeing that have been cropping up recently, there has been a very swift and brutal realization that has swept people who've been very complacent for a long time. Like,
yeah,
it's undeniable now. And once again, great conversation to have around the table at Christmas. Especially to your FUD uncle.
Yeah.
Like if he thinks he starts saying shit to wind people up. You do one better and outdo him.
Yeah.
With I think the Constitution is an infringement on my freedom. if you wanna get really testy, but Lysander Spooner, kids, look him up. But
yes,
actually, great gift. Lysander Spooner, No Treason. That's a great book to gift. You won't be the favorite of anyone. Yep. But you'll change your life maybe. But anyway, it's so weird trying to juggle this with Christmas stuff. But no, this is a good message. This is a good message any time of year.
There is no authority except Santa Claus. He knows when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. He knows when you've been bad or good. So be good for goodness sake.
I'm sure Santa has slid down the chimney and placed plenty of guns under Christmas trees all over America.
That's true. I mean, clearly Santa has no qualms about delivering Red Riders and AR parts. So
yeah.
Santa's super based. Just behave and, machine guns show up at your door.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
The
show up in your
ATF has
living room.
been trying to nab Santa for ages.
yeah, I'd believe in Santa if there was reports that he was delivering 30-round mags to band states. when asked for, like, he's a real one. Santa's out there smuggling.
That is awesome. Oh man, the recent push for holy shit, the amount of states that are trying to pass assault weapon bans and everything like that, and it's
Dude, it's
again,
during
who
Christmas
cares?
time.
Yeah, again, who cares? Do whatever, fuck them. But at the same time, it's annoying. I understand, and I have felt like this a lot, especially in the past few months. Like there's a certain hopelessness that comes to being like politically targeted 100% of the time, all the time, by media, politicians, celebrities, everything. But at the same time, fuck them. Who cares?
Yeah, but they think they're the resistance.
Yeah. Like, yes, I am the resistance on the same side as all corporate media, and like I'm espousing the same views as corporations, the government, and basically like a majority of the general discourse that doesn't get you banned. I'm a rebel.
Yeah, like
Dude.
they hate us, and they want us dead.
Dude, 2 years ago the country was on fire because of police brutality, and now we have the same people a lot of the same people advocating for like mass police brutality.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
it's
like
they didn't want to get rid of the police; they wanted to become the police.
like I went Christmas shopping with my sister yesterday, I think, and she was like, "Let's go to the bookstore. I need to get a stupidly progressive children's book for my friend for a kid." And I was like, "I don't really believe in that, but I
Yeah,
will support you in your mission. Whatever."
it's weird and it's so common now. It's so common.
Yeah, and it's like you're. Yes, if I had kids, I would be indoctrinating them, but I would be indoctrinating them to say that you do not have any right over the free will of anybody else.
Yeah,
And the difference is that you or your friend is going to be indoctrinating their kid to believe the opposite of that,
yeah.
which seems evil to me.
No,
Like-
it is. It's and everyone has their own moral code, but I think like don't force people to do things is a pretty simple one. Don't hurt people.
Yeah.
Don't take their stuff. Don't force people to do things that they don't want to do.
And my sister just couldn't get it, and she was like, "Well, I don't understand. Like, isn't that a bit extreme?" And I was like, "I don't think that's a bit extreme at all. They hate us and they want us to die. Like,
Yeah.
there are plenty of people that literally they are violent. They are like calling for violence against people that just want to like exist in a fashion that they want to, that aren't hurting anybody. Like, oh, you want assault weapons? Like, you're fucking sick. You need to be put down. Like, you need to be locked in a cage. Blah blah blah." And then like, okay, like
we want
what
agents
happens if
of
I
the
resist
state
being
to
put in a
violent.
cage? And like, they'll rejoice as the agents of the state kill you for, trying to resist that tyranny and stuff. And like, it's just, it's sad. And it does have like a sense of hopelessness to it.
Well,
Merry
the weird,
Christmas.
the weird thing about that stuff is it kind of it kind of harks back to the taking the idea of Santa and all the magic of that shit away from your kids at a young age. Is the same thing when you kind of press your politics onto them. It's like kids should not be thinking about this shit. Like kids,
No.
kind of their ideology is pretty fucking. Sure, it's malleable, but a child it should kind of start and end at treat other people with respect, and obviously there's a few more morals and stuff to instill, but like people just go off the deep end with trying to program their children from like birth to have their political opinions. Like, dude, that's what makes a kid rebel against you and go like swing the opposite way when you kind of build this entire world for them and like program them to think a certain way, and they go out and maybe they have a few things that challenge that. Like,
So what do you think is going to happen to kids that are raised as anarchists? You think they're going to grow up and be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Leninist now"?
Oh my God.
Maybe, dude. I mean, it's a good question. Like, I wonder how my kids are gonna view because I plan on, homeschooling and giving them a rural life, and it'll always be an open option. Like, if you want to go to a school and give it a go, sure, give it a go. But, I thought it sucked. Your mom thinks it sucked. So, I don't know, it really depends on how you go about it. Like, I think if you approach it with, like, my way is the correct way, then there is certainly a possibility of failure and, like, backlash. But if you're like, hey, I think this is in your best interest, but if you want to give it another go, a go another way, sure. As long as there's not going to be any, like, disastrous lifelong repercussions or damages from that kind of thing, then, fuck it.
Yeah.
Your life, man. So, but no, I do wonder, because we all have these ideals about how we're gonna set ourselves up and kind of future-proof the next generation and not repeat the same mistakes our parents might have, that we, just blindly sending you to public school and trusting that they're gonna have your best interests at heart and not try and make good tax cattle of you. But who knows? It's kind of a counterculture thing that hasn't been tried en masse, right?
Yeah.
Man, it's a scary world, dude.
It is a scary
Merry
world,
Christmas, everyone.
Hey, I mean,
Yeah.
People have been raising kids in their homes and in their local communities for thousands of years around, around more regular agricultural work and tending to a homestead and all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so,
no, I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I don't think you can fuck that up too much. As long as you give them opportunities to socialize, and if they want to try something else, absolutely let them go for it and all that kind of thing. Yeah, you don't want to keep them locked away from the world, or tell them that there's only one right way of doing things, and because if they've got no opportunity to kind of test your opinion on that, then it is just indoctrination.
Yeah.
I hate that I don't want kids.
You don't?
I don't think so, man.
Really?
Like,
huh? I thought we talked about this. Have you gone back and forth on this?
I have, yeah.
Is this for those that don't know? I could take this out if you don't want it in, but you've been in a kind of a celibate monk phase for a second, right?
I have, yeah. It's been pretty nice, honestly. Like,
lot less kind of worry in your life.
Yeah, it's just a lot. Like, I love women, man. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I do. They're great. I want to spend decades of my life with one, but not right now. Like, it's a lot less stress. It's way cheaper, and it feels like I should. For those of you that don't know, feels like I should set my life up how I want to set my life up, and then find somebody. Because then it would be like you would be an addition to my life, and if you aren't a net positive, if you aren't a gain on my quality of life, then you don't need to be there.
Yeah.
But if you commit yourself to someone and then you try to set your life up, then y'all did it together, which can be a beautiful thing and everything like that. But things can go sour, and then it's like, damn, like, man, it would be better if I didn't have to deal with this every day. But like, y'all are so intertwined and locked in together through like all these different like aspects, and it's not as easy as being like, you know what, my quality of life with you is worse, so adjust or leave.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fair. Like, plus, I mean, you've got a very direct influence of over how your life goes. Like, there's no one to really consult. You're kind of like, I'm gonna do this now, and it's kind of, that's the move.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you were saying, I've had a lot of luck with my lady, and it's a high trust fucking situation. Like, if you're trying to get to somewhere in life and then not the right one, like if you're trying to drag like someone who's not interested in the homestead life or whatever towards that thing, like you're gonna have and that's not the future they want, but they kinda indulge you. Like it's not gonna happen.
It'd be great if that works out, but I can easily fall in love with somebody who does not want the same type of life. Like, if neither of us are there yet, you know, it's like, well, what do you want to do with your life? And it's like, oh, I want to do something that's completely opposite of what you want to do. Like, shit, you know?
Yeah. So
that sucks.
You want to be at the point where you're already doing it, and then it's like, hey, come and join me in this life.
Yeah, and then if they're like, that's not the life for me, I'm like, okay, cool, thank you. Like, you know, carry on, whatever. Like, but like, it's like, I think it can be a good thing, absolutely, to get with somebody, to grow with them, to build a life with them, if all of that works out. It often doesn't, you know. So like, you're risking a lot when you try to do that, instead of just set your shit up how you want it set up, and then find somebody that's going to add to your quality of life, you know, because then everything's already established, and it's so simple that way. It's like, yes, I like you, my life is better with you, come and help me collect eggs in the morning, you know.
Yeah,
that's great. But awesome. Then if that's not going to happen, then you haven't invested years of your life and countless dollars trying to get to a certain point with somebody for it to end up not working out, you know? And you've already created your own peace in setting up your life how you want it set up.
Yeah, that's fair. You think you're gonna do the monk thing for a little while longer until you've got the bumblefuck homestead?
I would really like to buy a house before I start looking for anything serious. But who knows? You know.
What if the right sugar mama came along and she was like, "Hey, I've got a little homestead set up."
Man, I'd beat the brakes off that bitch.
Christ.
Shit, if somebody offered me a homestead with some decent acreage, all I had to do was beat it up real good.
Priority number one. What else have I got for Christmas? I was gonna get into a thing with our Irish lad Lucas about Royal Mail striking, but since he's not here to get on that, it's kind of
about what?
Kind of not. So Royal Mail right now in England, right around the holidays, they were like, "Fuck you," they're striking, and I don't know what they are, USPS basically, but they're privately owned.
State, Crown Corporation, I think the word is.
Something like that. They're called Royal Mail, but they're privately owned. It makes no fucking sense. But there are like regular mail provider, and right around Christmas, they were like, "Now's a good time to strike."
I mean, hey, leverage.
Oh no, for sure. And England's having a fucking rough time of it. Like, and kind of the same thing here. I have absolutely determined that this year it is Brokemas. We are celebrating Brokemas. I don't know about you guys, but Jesus Christ, I have sent out like my Christmas shopping this year has consisted of like 2 mugs, 2 bottles of alcohol, and some warm clothes. That is all I've bought people.
Damn, dude, that's kind of expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, yeah, it's a bit rich for me, actually. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I got like a roll of like aluminum foil, and you know, that's all I've got so far.
Give your loved ones little tinfoil hats.
Yeah.
This will protect you.
That's my gift giving for me.
Nah, man. I've done I think I've done all my Christmas shopping, actually. You know, it's haven't wrapped anything.
No, neither have I.
I need to do that.
See, at the same time, like, everyone I know who I've talked to about Christmas shopping and stuff, they're like, yeah, dude, it's been very fucking minimal. I've got no fucking money. And it's like, yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's not a fucking good time for it. No, but at the same time, all of the headlines that I see are like, the biggest Black Friday ever, blah, 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 like, the most money spent on Christmas gifts ever. I'm like, this is a fucking psyop.
Yeah, no, 100%. Consume, citizen.
Genuinely, and at the same time, while we're being told that it's like the most profitable Black Friday ever.
Yeah, the next headline is like grocery store shoplifting up 700%.
Yeah, well, no, like after all of the Black Friday emails, I'm sure you guys got the same thing. I was getting like a bunch of Christmas sale and like holiday sales and all of that, just constant fucking sales trying to outdo the Black Friday, which I haven't seen in years previous. Usually, you know, and having worked in kind of marketing, usually Black Friday hits and then you shut the fuck up and do like a small, that's where that's where you get your Christmas bonus, and then you do like a little New Year's sale, and then that's your lot, and for a long time, and but this year they've just been blasting it, so I'm like, oh fuck, that tells me people weren't making as much money, and maybe we need to talk to some of the, some of the business owners next time we have one on, but about Black Friday and see if they can open up about that. But
yeah, I'm curious. Like, consumer confidence is real.
yeah, no, I don't fucking believe for any of the headlines because everyone I know from all sorts of different income levels, whether they make 30K, 40K, 60K, 100K, everyone is like, yeah, people are not 100K. I don't know anyone who makes 100K.
I do, and we're still struggling. Like,
really,
yeah,
bastards. I've always said money would fix all my problems, but apparently not. Fuck
apparently not, because like none of them are doing particularly well.
that.
Well, it's just because everybody decides to like live at their means
Yeah,
that's kind of fair.
instead of below it. Like,
I
if I got a huge raise and was making $100,000 a year, I feel like I would be like pretty okay with the way I live right now.
yeah.
But I know that probably wouldn't happen, and I'd end up going almost paycheck to paycheck, like almost everybody else does.
Yeah.
Dude, I heard obviously you two have heard about like Alex Jones getting sued to fucking nothing, right? With like $1 trillion of damages, right?
Yeah,
Which is just
for like $1 trillion.
It's funny to even fucking hear it. It's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah, they just
Like,
took away his bankruptcy protections too.
Dude, countries that have lost wars who started them have legitimately been fined less.
Yeah.
But this motherfucker said some not very nice things, and he's getting fined that much. But he was saying, he's not gonna be able to buy groceries soon, and then I think it came out that his weekly cost of living is like 10K. I'm like, man, money it gets to you. Like that guy, he used to be basically a public access TV guy just shouting into the void, making like a little bit of money, and then Infowars blows up and he sells enough dick pills and protein powder, I guess, to have a cocaine budget for 10K on groceries a week, and now he's like, yep, I'm ruined. I can't afford to live anymore. I'm like, you motherfucker, do you know what my life would look like if I could spend 10K a week?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'd already have retired as a Somali warlord.
Yeah, I literally cannot
dude, that's months for me, man. Like, I saw this TikTok, and it was like how I budget $15,000 a month as a student in some city.
Go and
I was
fuck
like,
yourself.
I was like, are you? I was like, more like how I budget $15,000 for 6 months as a regular human being. Like,
yeah,
like it made me want to like pull out the hammer and sickle, to be honest.
Dude, I hate to say it, but the pandemic has made me. I have unironically said "eat the rich" a number of times.
like
It's just like you can totally like you can be okay with people being extremely successful and entrepreneurial and not wanting like governmental
corporate welfare
restriction on all that shit,
yeah,
and still also believe that there are a lot of rich people who are pieces of shit.
oh yeah. Well, like looking, I've brought this number up before, like the amount of people divided by, and again, like take all studies with like an entire shaker of salt, but the amount of people divided by income on who supports, for example, sending people to war. Like how many people of like scaling significantly towards people who had more money supported American military intervention in Ukraine, for instance. Like at each extreme, the numbers were like 30% of poor people supported, 66%, I believe, of people over a certain income bracket supported. It's really easy when it's someone else's kids you're sending to go die. Being wealthy usually comes with being an ideologue, and those are some of the worst and most dangerous people. Not saying that like fuck wealthy people in general, but like fuck wealthy people who try to impose their will on other people.
Well, so many of them understand the system and like do not care how blatantly fucked it is because they're in a situation for it to be advantageous to them. Like all of the I forget if it was PPP loans, right? In the States. Like that was the most blatant transfer and the biggest transfer of wealth from taxpayers to kind of the corporate class in history. It's like just stupid money during the pandemic. And that was something that really made me kind of go like, man, there's very few, if any, and some people will laugh at this, corporations that have even just a hint of a soul. Like and more so than that, they are just an extension of government. Like so many 100%. Of them. So many companies when they take, especially when they take money like that, like so boldly take money that is not theirs to take. It's taxpayer money for shit they don't need. Like and a bunch of a bunch of congressmen and shit had their own companies taking out $500,000, $1 million PPP loans when they have no. Like, they have a LLC, but no staff, no employees. They don't actually do anything. But then they took out, $1 million for losses and damages they suffered from to keep them running, quote unquote, during the pandemic. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ, how blatantly they want to loot the treasury. And that kind of made me pause and go like, I'm sure as fuck not a socialist or anything like that. I believe in markets, but, I definitely don't believe that corporations in their current state can really be moral entities. Like they're just it's just like all of our allies. I'm going deep here. It's just like all of our allies overseas are kind of like satellite states of the American empire these days. We outsource a lot of our dirty work to them and we get them to do shit that we don't want to, and we generally make a relationship so it benefits the US more than the allied nation or whatever. And the government does the same thing domestically with corporations where it's like, hey, you're playing the game, right, buddy? Like you're either playing the game and you have blood money on your hands, or you can get fucked and we're going to crush you with regulations and not being and that's what fucking lobbying is. It's playing the fucking game. You're saying, yep, I want in.
Yeah.
I don't know, I think a lot of people want to be the perfect little Reddit end cap. Oh my god, I've been scrolling Reddit. I don't know why.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I was curious what the Reddit tards were thinking, but good fucking lord, so many still lick the boot of corporations, and I'm like, did you not live through the same pandemic that I did? Like, did you not see how blatantly they were just looting while you were wondering if you were gonna ever be able to go outside and work a normal shift again? Make a living. Their stuff in their pockets and buying assets while the dollar's becoming more useless. It's like, Jesus fucking Christ.
BlackRock. BlackRock.
Tickle.
Your local BlackRock employee.
I've
Tickle.
got like 3
BlackRock
days to edit this, you motherfucker.
You'll figure it out. Okay, I'll just leave it those two.
I always do, you fuck. But I don't know. It's that kind of reaction that really kind of made me question a lot of the more plasticky aspects of our culture. Like, things like Christmas, where it's like, man, this is benefiting people who are rooting against me. Like, participating in this in the way that we do, automatically, it's like a disservice to good, honest people to participate in their fucking disgusting system.
Yeah, well,
to go really deep on plasticky, corny Christmas,
There's a lot of people that say things like those mega corporations couldn't exist if the government didn't exist as well. And I'm like, well, there's probably I think a few of them would, but there's probably a lot of truth to that as well, But one thing's for certain: if the government didn't exist, there would be no possibility of them getting corporate welfare ever. And
yes.
Then if they had to liquidate to keep from from going under, and then so be it. Like why should I care at all?
Yeah.
Like when the government was giving bailouts to like GM and shit, like what the fuck? What does that have to do with any of us?
Yeah.
Like, oh, they could go out of business. Like, okay, and like,
yeah. Like, why is that the public's burden?
whenever the government gave a bunch of bailouts to GM because they were like, they could go out of business. I'm just like,
I could go out of
okay,
business.
yeah, like
I can't afford shit.
like you're saying they could go out of business as if that answers the questions about my concern for why you're doing this, and it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Like, why are you doing this? Because they could go out of business. That has no
Right.
effect on me at all,
Yeah.
or anybody else. Like, let them sink.
It is no secret that the rich people who run corporations and the people who run the government and everything else generally come from the same circles and move freely between each other as well.
That's the part that socialists and communists and all the rest of the pinko lot miss out on, is that you can regulate corporations, but you can't regulate corporations when government is giving them a handy in the alley when you're not looking, Like,
Yeah.
it's
all the
quid
same
pro
people.
quo. Yeah, it's literally like that. In our modern world, there is really no separation from corporate and state. They're just one awful hybrid mess.
Yeah.
And if you tax the corporations and the billionaires and all of that, like they're gonna get cutbacks in other places, and it's all gonna be funded by the people anyway. There's not gonna be any real constraint. It's gonna be all rewording and stuff, so you think they're paying their fair share and that they've been somehow evened. They're now equal to the people, but nah.
Yeah.
They're still going to be doing their kickbacks, and they're still going to be part of the game, and still in the club that you're not.
Yeah,
Merry
That's the
Christmas.
big thing.
burn it all down.
Yeah.
Burn it all down. Merry Christmas.
Without getting too preachy, my mind jumps back to like the 20s and 30s, and when the banks would come around, they'd send people to forcibly take over foreclosed houses. How the community just got guns, got together, and told them to fuck off. And
Dude, that
that
classic picture of all of the neighbors. There's a sign that says like, "This is a This is a widow's home"
widow's
or
home.
something.
Yeah.
The bank won't foreclose it, or like, "This is protected" as something like that. And and you got all the neighbors like holding down a cop who was gonna drag this widow out of her home. It's like,
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Like we need that sense of community back.
Exactly.
That
Dude,
is the American dream.
yeah, no, genuinely, it is. It's people looking after people in a way that's we're treating each other fucking fairly and like people. Not where chucking a few more coins on some lord's pile and making a widow homeless is like the moral thing to do according to our laws and standards. Like, you don't have to be a socialist to think that,
Yeah, for sure.
Just a bunch of lefty gobbledygook, but
I don't think it's lefty or righty or anything. I think it's
No.
It's
Some people will hear that and be like, I think the widow can get fucked.
it's
If
like
the widow can't pay.
I think everyone who's listening to this can agree that like most of the big corporations that a lot of government and people in general simp for are fucking evil.
Dude,
like from the banks to fucking Disney itself.
I hate Disney because of what they did to Star Wars and also Marvel, in particular She-Hulk, and I also hate Amazon because of what they did to Lord of the Rings. It's unforgivable. It's
what radicalized you?
it's not just
Lord of the
bad. It's an outright disservice. It was nefarious in nature, even. Like, yeah. That's where I got most of my Christmas gifts from, though, because they do a good job.
Yeah.
Oh my god. There's some poor guy pissing in a bowl to get your gifts to your loved ones, you asshole.
Yeah.
Well, maybe if we buy enough from Amazon, we can upgrade him to a jug.
Or a hydro flask.
Yeah, keep that piss warm all 12 hours of your shift.
Yeah. Give him a nice ready thermos.
If
Oh,
Amazon does
fuck.
well enough, maybe he'll get a bonus so he can afford some adult diapers.
Upgrade. Man's just waddling around the endless Lost Ark aisles that are the Amazon warehouse.
Yeah.
They are like okay, Amazon, they are doing too much. Like if you got to pee in a bottle, you're doing too much. But there's like vitriol for a workplace. And then like all of a sudden they're like they expect too much out of workers. Like I have to be on my feet for 8 hours a day and like do all this and do my job, blah blah blah. And it's like, oh, like okay, like is that it? Or like are you peeing in a bottle? It's like, well no, I'm not peeing in a bottle, but they still expect me to do exactly what's in the job description.
Blue collar guns moment.
yeah.
Yeah, like Amazon workers can get fucked.
Nah, man, they shouldn't be peeing in bottles, but
But like, and I will stand by this. I think a lot of people like to put this in a binary. It's like, oh yes, this corporation or company or real estate or whatever group is doing bad things. We need the government to step in and regulate them. And I think like you can acknowledge that a company is doing something very bad that needs to stop and not want the government to step in and regulate them because they never do a good job at it. Those two things can be mutually exclusive. Like hiring your abuser to beat up another abuser, and like secretly they're shaking hands behind the shed to beat the fuck out of you when they see you next.
A message on that front, like, if you have a job that you fucking hate going to, like, I mean, do your best to not just leave it and have nothing in between, going to the next gig, but get the fuck out of there.
nah,
like,
pull yourself up by the bootstraps, shut the fuck up, go to work, die
Nah.
early, be a man.
If you've got a shitty boss, they can get fucked, and you should leave them short-staffed.
It is super satisfying to know that like they are like literally losing money because you're not there.
Yeah, follow them home and
Tickle.
them with a hammer. More censor work for you, BR.
Fuck me. But no, like some people some people don't deserve that shit. Like some people do deserve to be followed. Some bosses do follow. Some bosses do deserve to be followed home with a hammer. But,
so you can nail a note to their door, politely describing how they have wronged you and asking for a polite yet firm way to resolve it.
Yeah, that. No, like if a job is taking away from your happiness, fuck them. Like leave them hanging. No one needs that shit in their lives, and
Especially these days, you
a-
are not as replaceable as you think you are.
hell no. And if your company is treating you like fucking property, where they think that they can, they can just enforce the state's blanket edicts on you, like nowadays it's fine for a company to ask you to get injected with some shit to keep your job. Like, get fucked. You are not property. And I can't believe this was something that wasn't harped on more by all of the anti-work people during the pandemic. But like that was a real line in the sand where it was like your literal bodily autonomy can be legally enforced to be completely up to the suits in charge of your company. Like, they can decide the extent of how much you own your body, up to the point of having you forcibly medicated just because you're an employee. Like, fuck that.
Yeah, that's
that
messed up.
I think just like how the slow trudge towards gun control is an inevitable factor of government existing, I do think, and it's kind of like a dystopian theme, like, I do think it will be expected in 50, 100 years, maybe less than that companies should have complete control over your bodily autonomy. Not just the government saying that you can use this drug, that drug, but not these medicines, whatever. It's going to be down to the corporation, and it kind of already is with drug tests and stuff. They're gonna go harder. They're gonna have a whole fucking checklist of things that you need to have in your body. I mean, Christ, people who were like so hardcore about, I'm going off on one, but people who are going so hardcore about the jab and stuff, like, what if that is Musk's Neuralink in like 20 years, where it's like, oh, sorry, you can't work at this company unless you're chipped, because we need you to be able to communicate quicker than an unchipped person, and like, unchipped people can't process the data necessary for this job, so you're gonna have to put one in your fucking head. Or if there's a transition into that, then it's like, you're already working at this company. If you don't get chipped, you can't keep working here.
Yeah.
I think that'll be fucking expected, if not in our lifetimes, in our children's lifetimes. Not the chip necessarily, but the fact that you just don't own your body, your workplace does.
It's fucked
Merry
up.
Christmas.
Man, that's scary.
Yeah.
I like, but that's the thing. That's the whole boiling frog thing, isn't it? Like, where these things, it seems so minute in the now, whether it's like, a ban on a certain kind of firearm action, or like, hey, just this jab is mandated because we're in a global pandemic. Like, it's obvious. Like, whatever you fucking think of the vaccine, like, to mandate it is the part that upsets
so
me.
Fucked. Yeah.
I saw someone comment on one of the past episodes where it came up. They were like, oh, you guys scared of a little jab? It's like, no, I'm scared of a future where I don't have bodily autonomy. Like,
Yeah.
that should be kind of fucking obvious, right? But to spell it out, we are looking down the barrel of a gun where you don't own yourself.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Fuck that. Completely fuck that.
Quit complaining, you liberal.
Yeah, I know.
Go to work.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
Yeah.
Well, on that cheery note, we should end on something more Christmassy. Is everyone getting fucked up with their family for Christmas or Christmas Eve?
Yeah, we do Christmas Eve.
Probably going in the evening.
I see. That's an American thing I've seen, where you guys like trade gifts on Christmas Eve. Is that a thing? Like,
well, I feel like you do Christmas Eve with your extended family, and then you do Christmas morning with your immediate family.
See, we would like we'd hang out, like, my close family on Christmas Eve and be like, this is nice. We're not with our extended family. Isn't this peaceful? This is how Christmas should feel.
Yeah.
And then Christmas morning, do like, gifts and stuff with the close family, and then kind of right around lunch, everyone, takes a shot or whatever. When we were older, take a shot or whatever, grab some alcohol, and then head to our extended family's house to get into arguments and put up with them. Get questions about my newest tattoos. How about you, Nathan?
I'm going over on Christmas evening. My sister's got a shift at the redacted place that she works, so we're not actually doing Christmas until late. But I'm looking forward to it. It should be nice. I'm going to try and radicalize my dad even more.
You're just gonna come with like a new book every time you see him, just innocently hand it off like, hey.
Yeah. So by the way, I did an illustrated version of the Industrial Society in its future.
Damn, a picture book of Ted's work would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Make it accessible for the Marines listening.
God, it is so tempting. Have you seen someone got a writing AI to redo Industrial Society in its future as like an anime girl?
That is the most awful sentence that has ever been said to me. I'm so upset that those words could be said in that order.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what
that made it worse.
Uncle Ted himself would have thought about that, but it was very funny to me.
I think he would hope that the cancer finishes him off sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Smash or pass, though.
Smash or pass? Who? Fucking anime Ted Kaczynski?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm so afraid of the answer.
Probably smash.
Fuck yeah. Okay. Well, on that note, we're coming up to 2 hours, gentlemen. Shall we?
Yeah. Shall
we reel this one in?
All right. Don't be afraid to make a scene at this Christmas celebration.
Based. do it with love. Make sure you're invited back next year. But sometimes the scene is entertaining.
Yeah.
Don't end it in a screaming match. End it in a everyone's so fucking drunk. It's just chaos, Like,
yeah.
You don't want to be sober enough that there can be permanent damage done. You want it to be like, oh wow, we're picking up a lot of beer cans.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Yeah, you don't want to break any bones, but you know,
What kind of family reunions do you guys have?
we know how to get down.
Fuck yeah. Alright, any final words on Christmas, lads?
Santa is real. Make sure you believe in him extra hard, because that's how he powers his sleigh, and his Christmas magic is what keeps him alive, so you have to think about
Thank you, very, very wholesome. I can practically hear the bells.
that. You hear Will Ferrell far in the distance screaming.
Guns.
Just try your hardest to keep the magic alive for as long as possible. Because after it goes away, everything becomes extremely dull and lonely, and it never gets better.
Yeah, man. The truth. Anyway, thank you guys for listening. Oh wait, one more thing. Guns, dad advice. Go.
Yes.
Dad advice?
Dad advice.
Dad advice.
Every single guest of On War does dad advice.
So, like, the advice that a father would give to a child, or?
Like that, or what you would give to the audience as if they were your children. Anything goes.
Okay.
Like you're a sagely father, wise beyond his young years of 13 to 73.
Alright. My advice to you is don't be a dummy. Come on her tummy.
Well, a father has definitely said that before. That's that's. I guess that's how we're ending Christmas, guys.
Especially at a family reunion, like
Oh my god.
especially at Christmas celebrations and shit like that.
Oh lord. All right, Guns and Guillotines, everyone. Somehow he still has his original account on Instagram.
It's
How?
slowly dying though.
Yeah, you have backup though.
Yeah, I do have a backup, but my OG page is slowly dying. I'm like so banned. It's like 4 or 5 followers a day, maybe. It's not enough to keep up with people that are either unfollowing or being unfollowed
Or
by
banned.
Instagram, or their accounts are getting deleted, or
Dude, you've outlasted like every single gun page and liberty page on Instagram with that account, which is kind of sus, but you know, you do you.
yeah. Well, eventually y'all will figure out why. By then it'll be too late to do anything about it.
Oh Christ.
Yeah.
All right, well we're gonna have to look into that, but
Yeah.
anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Happy holidays or whatever. Happy non-denominational winter pagan celebration. Yeah. Anything else, boys?
Merry Christmas, everyone.
There you go. All right. Okay, bye. You got the button.
Oh fuck. Right.